done.
I told you, man. I told you. And that's why I like Bundesliga. I told you.
I like your name.
Hmm?
I like your new name. I said I like your name.
Thank you, yo. Thank you. I'm about to change the
You
profile,
know,
yo.
I'm it's awful because I expected this to happen today, and that's the worst part. Like I expected us to lose today. I expected us to play poor again today. These
Hmm.
players, I mean, the players obviously have to take some fault, but it's like I always say: if the whole team is bad, that's on the manager. If it's like
Right.
one or two players, that's on the players. But if the whole team is bad, it's on the manager.
It's on the manager. Yeah. And the problem too is he has no, like, there's no type of understanding when to sub off players, when to start players, and when not to start players. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
for example, Upamecano, very good player. I'm not saying he's not a good player. He did well against Barcelona, and but in certain game situations, certain players will do well, and in certain other game situations, certain players won't do well, and that's Upamecano. This game, he didn't do well. He was terrible. He had a bad pass that he passed to, I believe, in Augsburg. That could have been a goal. That could that could have won it because I don't know if you saw it. He lost the ball, and the player shot it in the 18. Same thing goes with, you know, bringing in Janabri, playing him as a left winger. He's not really not a striker. Um, you know, he can't dribble anymore. You're playing Sanya on the right, his worst position. You're even playing Mane as a winger. His worst ever position, Mane, is a winger. Like, oh, boy,
Like,
I don't know.
I agree with you. Um, for me, the big, I expected the performance. Like I said, I expected us to be bad. I expected the players that have been bad, to be bad again. Um, but the substitutions, that's
Yeah, yeah.
that I'm just like, yeah, you lost me. I mean, you lost a long time ago, but you officially.
Hmm. Yep. I told people about this. I told these people that, yo, this guy is a fraud, bro. I watched this man in Leipzig. This man is a total fraud. Like, he has no idea. He doesn't have anything. Like, when it comes to football, he's just totally, like, he thinks that, oh, it's FIFA. It's not FIFA. We're not playing FIFA here, where you could just put a bunch of attackers in and think that it'll work. That's not how it is. And I kept telling people this. I'm so happy that um I'm joining from my computer. So
Uh,
uh,
Back you go.
yeah, thank you. You see me?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, he's just low in tactics. He's really low in tactics, and I just think that um we need to I, look. I don't want Tuchel because I've seen Tuchel. I think Tuchel has um problems with the board and Brazil too, so I don't know about that. But personally, for me, he is a much better option than flipping Nagelsmann for a short term. Not saying long term. I think Tuchel will be good short term wise. You see, um, and we've lost our ruthlessness. I kept telling people this whenever I watch Nagelsmann, we've lost our ruthlessness, we've lost our clinical finishing, we've lost it all. Like, I just really think it's time to let go of him right now. Like, when we're talking about right now, because this is the first time that Bayern has been fourth. And also, we're going into the international break. This is a very good time to sack Nagelsmann because the next couple of fixtures we got Leverkusen, Dortmund, then we got the Pelsen game away and home, and who else is there? Do we play? No, 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 no. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we have those two tough Bundesliga games, Leverkusen and Dortmund. I really do think if Nagelsmann is still coach, then we are going to lose against Leverkusen and Dortmund. I'm telling you this right now because those two games are away. And even the Pelsen away game, I'm actually a little bit scared because I just cannot trust this guy. Against Barcelona, very unconvincing, bad passes, no control. We, I think this is the time. This is the time to let go of a guy who I think, yes, he did well in Hoffenheim, he did well in Leipzig, but when it comes to coaching older players and an experienced team like Bayern, you cannot bring your Hoffenheim, Leipzig philosophies to a Bayern team who they like everything to like the team. Go back to the basics. Jupp Heynckes type football, Hansi Flick type football. That is what we like. That is what we like to play. You know what I'm trying to say? And I understand you're trying to play 4-2-3-1, but those coaches, if they were coaching this Bayern team, they will coach it in a way where it is understandable. You understand what I'm trying to say? It is
Mm-hmm.
understandable. And they will put the players in the right position. Like you see Mane playing left wing. Who told you that? Was horrible last season in Liverpool. He was horrible in the left wing. But if let's say a Tuchel or Klopp comes in, they know how to get the best out of these type of players that we have right now. Although Upamecano is a what's gonna call it a Nagelsmann type player, these coaches will actually improve these players better than what Nagelsmann is doing. And I told a friend called Luke, and I'm shouting him out. I told a friend called Luke that, bro, I've said it time and time again, and you're still not listening to me. He's such a Nagelsmann lover, such a Nagelsmann, um, you know, um, such a Nagelsmann lover. He just loves Nagelsmann to bit, and he just thinks that Nagelsmann is doing a better job than Flick. If he was doing a better job than Flick, where's the ruthlessness? Where's the ruthlessness? Bayern fan TV were horrible. We're horrible. I'm sorry to say we are very horrible to watch right now because even against Barcelona, that was not convincing. But we are very, very, very horrible. And with the plays that Brazil gave him, we should be like, I don't even care what you say. This man should be winning these type of games. Man gave you Mazrari. Man gave you um Delict. Man gave you all these players, and you still cannot beat a simple Bundesliga team in Augsburg. You can't beat Gladbach. Okay, fine. You can't beat a draw is good for Gladbach. You can't beat flipping Union Berlin. Who else did we play last week? Stuttgart. You can't beat them with these players. He's giving you all these players, and
All
again,
right.
people say Nagelsmann is a great coach, most overrated manager. That man is a fraud. I'm telling you, man.
Jeez.
That man is a fraud, bro.
Nito,
Now I'm
welcome.
gonna lay it
How
down.
you doing? Thank you for joining us, Nito. How you doing?
I'm good, guys. Not a great game. How you guys doing?
Yeah, so. So I'll ask you the question then as well, because Core went on a bit of a rant,
Mm,
understandably, I guess.
mm.
How do you feel about this Nagelsmann situation that has now popped up?
Man, you know what it is? With Nagelsmann, I was actually I was just always like kind of had a respect for him. I was never convinced last season, but at the moment, I'm starting to think, like what the hell is going on? Because like I don't get the substitutions, like players like I think some of the substitution, the way he uses, like for example, Gravenberg and Tell, I think he goes by the names, players like Goretzka or. But like their statue, the way the kind of player they are, instead of going by the form or I don't get the substitute the way we've been playing lately. So I think it's down to him. Like 4 games without a win. This is like since 2001. So it's not looking good at the moment. I think the period between this and the World Cup is going to be crucial for his future. Like there's going to be a lot of games. So let's see if he can turn it around. But at the moment, it's just not looking good.
Okay. So you definitely, based on how you were saying that, you definitely think that he's gonna stay, that the club isn't gonna sack him then. Is that correct?
I feel like we wouldn't rush to just because of how much we spent on him. We gave him like a good transfer. So what we will do is I think we'll give him at least like, unless we go like maybe 6-7 games like winless or something like that in the league. I think this next period coming between the World Cup and this international break will be crucial. I feel like we will give him some time. Let's see though. What do you guys feel? What do you guys
No,
think?
no, 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 no. I'm tired of giving this dumb fraud, this stupid man time.
You
There's no time that we gotta give him.
You know,
It's
Cor,
done.
the only thing is
Done.
if it was any
Sorry,
other
bro.
manager, the only thing I add is because of his age and because of the amount of money Bayern spent on him. That's why we're not gonna rush on him just to do the sack on him, like
No, no, no,
any
no, no,
other
no.
manager.
No, no, no. Listen to this. Okay, it's time. I don't care what you say. Like Nagelsmann is done and dusted, bro.
To be honest,
He's
you know
no
what?
more. I kept telling people this. He's no more it. It's time to move on. We can get immediate results if we get someone like a Klopp or Tuchel. These guys can give us immediate results. Not this guy. This guy is a fraud. I am telling you, bro. He doesn't even know what formations to play. The right formation to play, he doesn't play. He's very arrogant. He's a very arrogant young coach. And the experienced players don't even respect him, either. They don't respect him.
Hmm.
That's
Hmm.
what you guys don't understand. They just don't respect him.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
and and time again, we're seeing it. Thomas Muller doesn't respect him. Neuer doesn't respect him. Kimmich, they don't respect him because he's too young, inexperienced. The guy cannot coach this team. We need a
yeah,
proper manager who can come in, who is very experienced, can come in, bring back that ruthlessness that Bayern used to have in 2020. And once we get that ruthlessness, we can actually do something not only in the Champions League, but in Bundesliga. The fear factor will come back. No one is scared of playing us right now because A, our coach is Nagelsmann, very inexperienced, fraud-headed Pep Guardiola type coach. I cannot stand him. I just cannot stand him. Today, I'm gonna mention one thing. Mazrari was the best player in the pitch. I don't care what anybody says. I saw people on Twitter saying, "Oh, Sane did well, Musiala did this, Sane did well, Musiala did this." Those two were garbage. You can have as many touches, you can have many skill moves and all that, and all that flashy stuff and passes and so forth and link up plays. But if you don't flipping finish the ball and put it in the net, you risk yourself. You risk yourself of losing a game. That is why they call it football, because world football. Because if you don't take your chances in Bundesliga, you get punished by these teams, and that's why I love the Bundesliga so much. These teams will punish you. They will punish you. You know.
yeah.
And I knew today was the day. I knew today was the day, and I'm telling you this right now. I'm making a bold prediction. He is going to get sacked in the international break. I strongly believe this.
Nah,
I strongly believe it because the reason why is Bayern was never in this situation since 2001. The expectation for Bayern is, yes, it is also to win Bundesliga, not only to do in the Champions League, but it's to win Bundesliga.
yeah. I
That's what
mean,
everybody has to understand. Is to win Bundesliga.
I think what
Sorry,
has
go ahead.
helped him is that the games against Inter or Barcelona. I would have said like same thing if you lost to Barcelona or Inter, or if you didn't get a good result from them. But I feel like with the coming off the Barcelona game, and at least he's got that Champions League, like this kind of thing. What do you think, Prince? Do you think he's gonna survive till the international break or?
Well, the way I look at it is the question. There are two questions, right? The first one is, does he deserve the sack? And that's, for me, it's an obvious yes. But the second part is, do I think he will get sacked? And that's, for me, is an obvious no. Because I know Core has the Tuchel in thing, and he was joking about it himself, saying that, he wants Tuchel in maybe for like a short time, but not for a long time, just because how much Tuchel clashes with board members, so on and so forth. And we've seen how that worked at Bayern last season. But for me, the way I look at it is, whether Tuchel is the right manager or not, I don't know. And I don't think there is a manager unless, he better hide right now. But unless Oli Hoeneß makes a quick phone call to his good old friend Jupp Heynckes, and is like, Jupp, can you come in for like 6 months?
I was exactly gonna say the same thing. I was gonna say.
Unless that's a situation, I don't see the club sacking him, honestly. The worst part is, though, and I know a lot of people say, oh, it's good that we have an international break. I think that's a bad thing. The reason I think that's a bad thing, actually, is the German national team and Bayern are basically the same. So the thing is now, after how we've been playing for like the past few weeks, so on and so forth, if suddenly these same players that have been absolutely atrocious, if they suddenly start, performing with their national team, that's going to look even worse on Nagelsmann. Like, if those same players suddenly under Flick, start scoring for fun, having amazing time, just playing amazing 10 out of 10s here, that's going to look even worse on Nagelsmann. So it's a double-edged sword, but I don't think he will get sacked. Would I want him to get sacked? Absolutely. And for me, the reason is, there's a lot of reasons, all right? But the reason is this whole, we're rewarding, performances here and there. That's BS on the highest level, because Gravenberg dropped a man of the match performance he's never seen again.
Yeah.
Tell comes in 5 minutes every game, but does solid for 5 minutes, better than a lot of the other attackers. He doesn't get a start. There are other issues as well, of course, besides that, but like, that's to me is the biggest issue, that like players that based on performance and purely based on performance should start, they don't get minutes. That's the whole debate, with like Sabitzer as well. And then, Sabitzer did play. He did play against Barcelona. He dropped a stinker. Goretzka came in. Goretzka performed. Okay, it's fair enough that Goretzka starts in this game then. It makes sense to me. It makes sense to me based on that performance. But to me, the issue is that a lot of times it's about the names. I think Cole was saying that earlier, that the players don't respect him, so on and so forth. I think he's just too lax. I think he's too young. I think the step might have been too soon, because he doesn't put his foot down. Someone like Guardiola, when Guardiola first became a manager, he got rid of Ronaldinho immediately. Like, he had his style, he had his way, and he got rid of like who didn't fit him. Nagelsmann won't do that. He's not the person that will be like, you know what, you're not performing, I won't play you. Like someone like Guardiola would have done, who had a lot. I think arrogance is the word I'm looking for, probably. Guardiola had a lot more arrogance when he first became a manager, to just say, you know what, I want this and I want that. And if you don't fit this and that, then you're out. Nagelsmann is more like, I want this and that, but you know what, you players, you've already won the World Cup and you've won the Champions League, so I don't really have that much power, so I'll just if you want to do this and that, I'll let you lot go ahead and just decide what you want to do. And that's kind of the issue that I'm having with him, that he doesn't have this authority, this stamp of authority, where he's like, no, it's my way or the highway.
Yeah. To be honest, I feel like last season was shocking for me, but I thought it was just like because he's young, give him some time. Because last season, honestly, the way we went out against Villarreal, the way we went out against in the Bocal game, these games are not acceptable. So it didn't help himself, from last season. So this season, exactly like you said, we're just gonna give him some time just now, just because of like the background, the money spent on him and everything. But I understand where everyone's coming from, if some people want him out just now. But I think he's a bit too soon, like you said. I feel like he might have came to Bayern a bit too early. Now Guardiola, if you compare him, his time at Bayern, he's a lot better, like compared to before. So he could be the best coach in the future. I don't know, but at this moment in time, Bayern is not like, you will not get the time. It's not like Dortmund, any other club. Bayern is a different, mentality club. So let's see.
I mean, it's very telling that a lot of people in the chat are obviously Nagelsmann fans. You've got a lot of people that say they very much like Nagelsmann. They want him to be here long term, but even they are having doubts. Like even they are saying like, "Oh, this is no bueno. This is no good." And a lot of good comments here. There is one that I do want to like point out a little bit, and it's this one that Bayern probably had like 52 chances in the first 45 minutes. And this has been a thing for a while now. And I hate stats, but I always do keep track of stats. Like that's the thing about me. Even though I hate stats, after every game, during every halftime, I look at stats just to see what is going on. And the thing that has been the case with us recently is that we have a lot of what I would like to describe as like empty aggression. As in, like, we get to a certain point of the pitch, it's all looking good, it's all looking well, and then the final ball, it's missing. Oh, we're trying to pass it into the net. Oh, we're trying to dribble through 10 players. And that's been a big issue for us. Now, people will say, well, we don't have a striker, so that's natural. Yeah, sure. A striker would be the focal point, and a striker typically is a lot more greedy. But that's the big issue that we have. It's not that we don't have a striker, it's that we don't have enough greedy players. Müller, I like Müller a lot, but he's done himself no service at all recently. Because every time he gets into good position, he's trying to pass it. And I'm just like, shoot. You lot are in the box. There is a ton of space. Just shoot at the goal. It's very telling that, did I upload my Barcelona post? I think I just recorded it. I think I didn't upload it. But basically in there, I was saying in my post-match reaction for like the Barcelona game that we had, I was saying Goretzka changed the game against Barcelona because he actually wanted to score, like unlike everyone else in the team. And that's exactly what we're missing. We're missing that greediness, that hunger, that desire. And that's very unlike Bayern. And as I said before, if the team is bad, it's on the manager. If it's one or two players, fine, that's on the players. If the whole team is bad, it's on the manager. So for me, Nagelsmann, he's lucky. He's lucky that there's no one really available, and he's lucky that he cost this much money for the board. But if it wasn't,
there is someone available. The guy you're talking about, Heikens.
Zidane.
Yeah. He's available. Heikens is there.
Do you want to kill him at this point? Okay, let him enjoy his retirement. Huh?
Yeah. We have.
Here's the thing. Look how many French players we have. Mm-hmm. There's a French manager that's currently out of a job that's won a Champions League, 4 times in a row, 3 times in a row?
Actually, let me change my name because that's a good one.
Wait. Would you actually take Zidane over Tuchel?
Yeah.
Would you?
You know what I'm saying now, right? The way Zidane plays fits the way plays. Fits the Bayern, how Bayern plays. And I think he will do better with these players like Coman, Sane, and Matthias Tell. Like they can Mane and these guys, they will improve under Zidane. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, but I feel like Bayern wouldn't go for because of a language barrier. I know they pro Ancelotti before. I know Pep had to learn Pep learned the language, but I feel like if anyone, it would be Tuchel. If it had to come to it, do you feel like it, or I feel like that's the only option at the moment.
Zidane it's a weird one because personally, I would want Tuchel at Bayern, but I know Zidane would do better.
Yeah.
It's the argument I always have that even though I like tacticians a lot more, managers are just in every aspect of football, they're just getting better results. They're just better. So that's the issue that I have. That I would love to have Tuchel at Bayern, but I know Zidane would do better.
Yeah. I agree with these French players. I really do think Zidane would do better.
I mean, Ancelotti on paper was good, but he struggled at Bayern. So I don't know if the language whole thing is actually going to be a thing. I don't know how it's going to work out, but I'm sure of it. At the moment, at least this time, we will stick with the what was his name? Yeah, the coach, our coach, yeah, Nagelsmann.
Oh man, Okay, so Brazil says we played in a way that you can't win a Bundesliga game. The atmosphere is down. We must win the next game.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds like every talk I've ever heard from the club.
You know, like I was saying, guys, I think that this game's Barcelona and Inter helped him because I think it would have been a lot worse if we didn't have a good result against them because it would have been overall 5 games, that like 6 games. I think we would be winless. But yeah,
All right, I'm gonna run a quick poll on YouTube just to see what people are saying, what people are thinking. Here we go. Here's a quick poll for all of you. If you could just vote on the poll, just so that we can, I don't know, see what all people think. Romance, how you doing? Welcome.
I could be better, to be honest.
What are your thoughts on this whole situation that's been going on the game as well?
Shambolic. We played horrible today. It was back and forth of Augsburg. I think they did a very good job in keeping us quiet for the most part. We had some chances, but like I've been saying the whole year, without a striker, we're not going to convert these chances like we did last time, last year, the year before that. It's not easy. Mane is not a striker. Sane isn't going to do it every game. Gnabry looks like crap. Like, it's so frustrating to watch us. And hey, these are the players Nagelsmann trusted. In a couple games, if we don't win, he's out the door. He's gone.
You know, I do find it funny that like a lot of people, and granted, you know, because a lot of the people here are obviously Nagelsmann out. There are a lot of people in chat as well that will naturally be influenced by us. So I you know, that's to be expected. But I do find it funny that this poll that I've put up on YouTube, a lot of people are actually wanting Nagelsmann out. The majority, I think, okay, it's slowly shifting now. Just as I said that, so who knows how it's gonna end?
Yes, Lord.
But
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. That's all we need. That's all we need.
but to me, it's a very interesting debate going on because a lot of people before the season started were saying, and I was one of those myself, were saying we got the transfers. This was probably our best transfer window in forever. So he has to deliver. Like, there are no excuses. And it's very clear that now that, you know, he isn't delivering, people actually are sticking to that, which is very unlike the football culture, because usually people are like, yeah, he has to deliver. And then like 5 games in, when things don't go well, they're like, you know what, give him some time. But people are actually quite brutal now, I think, because of the summer that we had. People are actually, you know, majority of people are actually on the Nagelsmann out train, which is very interesting. Even like his fans are on that Nagelsmann out train. But
That's me.
we'll get back to
Yeah, Luke.
I was a big fan of Nagelsmann. I was very happy when he came, but it's on the wall for me now. It's on the wall. It's not good enough. Like, every game, the players don't look up to it. Even against Barcelona, they didn't look up for it. Hernandez scored the corner, and that's when we started getting into it. Imagine if Barcelona scored their chances first. What would have happened that night? Only God knows what would have happened.
yeah, I think the Barcelona game, we were lucky, to be honest. The first half it could have gone 3 down. Yeah, it doesn't look good at the moment. Like Roman said, even I was skeptical about him last season. I was like, maybe give him some more time, but I don't know. Let's see how he goes.
My thing is, he's got 2 more games for me to turn this around. If not, you have to get rid of him and then bring in a Tuchel. Tuchel can steady the ship.
It's no more 2 more games. We're done watching those 2 more games. Those 2 more games are against Leverkusen and Dortmund. He's gonna lose those ones. So it's better
we
for
have
us.
Leverkusen and Dortmund next 2 games.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Away. Wait, let me check again. I think it's
That
away.
was
Yeah,
not easy.
yeah. Both games are away. I believe. Yeah, both games are away. No, no. Leverkusen's at home. Dortmund is away.
I mean, it doesn't really matter, to be honest.
By the way, just saying, this poll is going back and forth. So for a few seconds there, in and out, where like they both had the same percentage. Now out is winning again. So Nagelsmann out is picking up steam, so to speak.
Where's the poll? Where's the poll so that I could join in?
It's on the YouTube. It's on the live stream for this video.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So here's a question for all of you, because we're talking a lot about Nagelsmann. How much criticism do the players get?
No, they don't deserve any criticism. Enough is enough. Let me tell you why, all right? We gave him Mazraoui, a player that fits his system. We gave him De Ligt, a center back who we believe that fits his system. We also gave him players like Tel, who fits his system. We gave him Mane. He said Mane is the hold-up play striker. Not really a hold-up play striker, but he's a striker who can play like a false nine. We gave him that. And he failed. He failed. And I keep telling people this. League is important. Not only Champions League is important. All right. So yeah.
Sorry. Did you say league is important? Weren't you the person that before the season started said, "I don't care about the Bundesliga, just get me the Champions League"?
Look, I say I don't care about the Bundesliga, but if you get a good coach, Zidane or Tuchel or Klopp, you can compete for all two. You can't compete for all two with this manager or all three. You can't win a Pokal with this manager. It's impossible. I'm sorry, man.
I'm getting Kovac vibes right now, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think we have like each position we have two good players. I could say almost, like he doesn't have the excuse of like the squad is not good enough and the teams we're playing we are far superior to them. So like players like Gravenberg, he hasn't got a proper game time. Like I don't even know when he played other than the cup game, and he played really well the games that he got the chance. Tell every time he played today, I don't understand why those guys never came. So these players, the manager is down to the manager to find the right players, right tactics. One game you can draw 2 games, but 4 games in a row, the teams that you are far better on paper, superior to them, like these teams. So it's definitely down to him more than the players.
Okay. It's a difficult one because the players, for me, they do deserve a lot of criticism, but Nagelsmann deserves the biggest amount of criticism for the reasons that you lot mentioned. For me, the big one as well was, I was crying out for Choupo-Moting. I was crying out for anyone to literally come in to make some sort of change. But my issue is, why bring these players on in like the last 15 minutes? Like what, you see that it's not been working for 60, 70 minutes. Why wait this long? After the first half, I would have done 2-3 changes. But why is it always towards like the last 20 minutes that we're like, okay, you know what? Now we're doing something. It's like at this point, you're setting yourself up not to win the game, but to draw the game. And that's the issue. I don't want to draw these games. This being like the 4th draw in a row is the same as this being the 4th game that we haven't won. It's the same thing. It's not good. That's what it is. Right, and it's not like we're playing against Dortmund, Leipzig, Leverkusen. We're playing. Who did we play? We're playing against Union Berlin, Stuttgart, Augsburg. That's not good enough. That's all it is. It's simply not good enough. And I'm not counting Gladbach in here because Gladbach are our bogey team, but it's just a case of this just not from goalkeeper all the way up to quote unquote strikers. This is just simply not good enough. And the players, for me, they deserve a lot of criticism. But I know the club won't sack him. I know the club won't sack Nagelsmann now. Even the interview that Brazo's doing right now, and that he did, he basically just said something along the lines of, we need to win our next one. yeah, that tells you that they're not getting rid of him. Otherwise, they would have said, yeah, we need to make some changes. But now you just said we played in a way that you can't win a Bundesliga game. The atmosphere is down. We must win the next game. That's a blanket statement. That's all it is. That's a blanket. That's a, yeah, you know what, international break is here. We're kind of lucky. Haha. Woo! And I'm just like, no, that's not good enough. That's all it is. It's not good enough.
Yeah, 100%. It's all about the long term. I think that's what they're seeing. It has to be like real disasters in order to sack him. That's what I actually believe, only because of things that we mentioned earlier, because of his age and the way they invested money on him. So, yeah, I agree.
Well, here's a question then for all of you. And I know we kind of talked about it a little bit, but I guess let's talk about it, seriously. Zidane, because I didn't think about this at all, but now that I'm actually like putting some time into it, I think actually if he is available, the club could go for it. The club could actually like decide, you know what, we've got so many French-speaking players. Why not? What are your honest thoughts on Zidane for Bayern?
I don't think it's gonna happen. I think he's waiting for the France job. He turned down PSG. I don't think he wants to go to Juventus, another club he likes. I don't think Bayern's on his mind. I'd love it, but I don't think he would come to us.
All right.
Because I don't think it's realistic with Zidane. It's one thing like him to get sacked at the moment, but it's also Zidane. It's like, just as I said, like with the language and things, Tuchel, I would say Tuchel might be the one if we get someone.
All right. Well, just gonna say this: the poll has been running for about 10 minutes now, and in is at 43%, out is at 48%, and undecided is at 10%. So out is currently winning. So yeah, just gonna leave it there, and say this: we need to talk about this game as well, not just Nagelsmann, but actually this game, like actually Augsburg game a little bit. Obviously the big discussion is Nagelsmann and his job potentially being on the line, so on and so forth, and how the players are reacting or not so reacting to their performances. But what's everyone's thoughts on just this game in general? What is there anything that you liked about it? Anything that you'd like to see change in the next one?
Not much to change. Players were inconsistent and poor again. Sane wasn't all that. Musiala wasn't there. Mane had heavy touches all over the place. Goretzka became Sabitzer. Our best players were our defenders again, and that can't be it. How is our best chance created by Neuer? How is
our best attacker?
Our best attacker is Neuer. He had the best chance. I don't get what's going on. Nagelsmann asked for this. He said, "Let me vibe with no strikers. I can do this." And then here we are, wondering why Neuer has the best chance of the game. Like, it's just so frustrating, top to bottom. Players look tired. They look disinterested. Like when the goal went in, other than De Ligt and Neuer, I didn't see any reaction. Everyone just kind of walked back to the halfway line. Oh, okay, we're down. It happens. Like, what's going on here? It's
for me, I'm most disappointed with Mane, to be honest. I honestly didn't expect him to be this bad.
Yeah.
Like I know, like he's not on his prime, but still I expect him to do a lot better. The way he's playing at the moment, he deserves to be dropped. I hope at least the next games, even like heck, even I know he's only 17 years old. I don't think he can do any worse. Start him or start like someone else. It's the manager's job to look into if the player's not performing well, just because Mane has his reputation, his name. So next game, Mane doesn't deserve at this point to start. Just change. As Roman said, the player defenders were actually the decent ones. Everyone else, Sane or Musiala, no one was good. So I'm honestly so shocked with the way the team as of overall performing. The atmosphere, as Brazo said, is down.
I don't know. It's frustrating because from minute one, they just out-muscled us. And you know what? We need to give a little bit of criticism here towards the referee. And I don't like, criticizing referees at all because typically, it's down to the player, so on and so forth. It's down to the squad and it's down to the manager, so on and so forth. But the referee today allowed some plays to be what I consider extremely dangerous. But it set the tone very early on that Augsburg, they had the passion, they had the desire, they had the drive. And, to out-muscle us, to outplay us, I mean, they did, to, just bully us, for lack of a better term. And typically, when you've got Goretzka in the squad, no one bullies you. He got bullied today. So I want the players to be... I hate saying this because people will obviously take it the wrong way, but I want the players to be more arrogant. I want the players to be like, you know what? I am X, Y, and Z, and I'm so much better than you. So let me actually show you how much I outclass you. Because right now, all it feels like the players don't care. They're not hungry. They don't want to be on the pitch. They don't want to play football. They just want to, go home and do nothing. And that's I think that's a little bit of the attitude. I mean, Core called it ruthlessness. I call it arrogance. And I feel like that's what we're lacking. I don't think it's the ruthlessness that we're lacking. Because when we score a goal, we do score more goals. What I think we're lacking is just the arrogance to say, you know what, we're a better team and we're going to show it today. And that's kind of what I feel like we're lacking. More so than just ability. I feel like that we lack I don't want to say leader. I think that's the wrong term. But we lack someone that steers the ship in a correct way, which typically comes from the manager, and we don't have that right now at all. So to me, that's my biggest worry. Beyond just the way we're playing, my biggest worry is the mentality at the moment because it's just not good at all.
No, and Hernandez mentioned it. Like after the Barca game, he said we have to go into every game with that intensity, and I didn't see that. Augsburg, as the game went on, Augsburg started believing more and more and more. Hey, we can get something from this game. They're not on their game today, and credit to them. They hanged in there. They got their goal, and they kept the line. They pressured us. It's bad when players like Kimmich put their head down because that guy always fights. Today he wasn't. He was gone. He was nowhere. It's sad. I don't know. It's Kovac vibes. That's what I'm getting because when players like Kimmich start putting their head down, there's a problem in the dressing room. Davies doesn't care. Mane's like, it's just another day. I don't know. Other than De Ligt and Neuer, I didn't see any reaction. It's frustrating.
Mido, here's a question for you. It's a bit of an odd one, but still, here's a question for you. If you take today's game and the last, well, I can't say the last three, but the last three Bundesliga games, so not including the Gladbach game, because Gladbach, again, our bogey team, I don't count that as much. I know people, obviously, they look at the statistics and like, you know what, we should have won against Gladbach, but then again, we should have won almost all the games. But here's a question for you. Is it Nagelsmann's fault that we have, plenty of chances, plenty of shots, where, we always have the most possession, we're in the opponent's half, but the players just don't score? Is that his fault or is that the player's fault?
I mean, which game is it specifically? Because if you look at the Union Berlin game and today's game, other than Gladbach game, I think that was the only game I see that we actually deserved to win. We had so many chances. Who was it? The team that we played last week that we drew?
Stuttgart.
Stuttgart, yeah. So these teams, it's not like we we dominated them, and then it's not like we like the Gladbach game. The way overall they kind of matched us, and just because we squad wise we are like way better than these teams. You know, we have players that can come and change the game. I know Mane is struggling. I know some players like what we're lucky to have players like Tell, even like Gravenberg. So. The only thing I'd say is that I don't think we actually performed as well. It's not like we created and missed a lot of chances. A lot of people say, you know, Bayern are lacking like real nine, missing Lewandowski. Is it the question though? I mean, we creating chances for strikers if we had actual striker. Because last season, I know even Bundesliga last season, was it like how many points did we get? I don't know if we had our best season. The teams that are competing with us are not like there was times that we dropped so many points with Lewandowski as well, you know. So yeah, that's my thoughts.
Okay. What about you, Romans? What do you think about the situation that, like, you know, we seemingly tend to create? I mean, that's always every interview after the game is we had enough chances to win, we just didn't score. We need to fix that in the next game. What are your thoughts on like that? Because I just saw Thomas Muller basically make that statement, and I was like, you lot say that every single week, which is why I'm trying to raise that discussion.
We do create chances and we don't score them, so I guess they can say that. But like, why don't we play better? Why do we invite this pressure? Like against okay, Gladbach, that's our bogey team. Yeah, Union Berlin, tough place to go. Okay, Stuttgart at home. Really? That we're blaming this on missed chances? We shouldn't be letting a team like Stuttgart, who struggle to score themselves, get 2 goals in Allianz Arena. And then against Augsburg, a team that I don't think they've won a home game this year. They just got their first win. So I don't remember any. I mean, there was Sane with some chances, but we can't bank on Sane scoring a goal every game. Mane was poor, Gnabry was poor, and at the end of the day, you can say we've missed chances, but those why not defend better, play as a team, have more urgency, more creativity in ourselves? Because I think that's what we're lacking. Mentally, I think we're in the toilet because no, they don't come into the game prepared. They pass the ball around, and when we go goal down, it's either we score again and then the mentality drops, or for the next 5 minutes we'll play and then that's it.
All right, fair enough.
Did you guys just see just to quickly just the Nagelsmann Fabrizio Romano posted what he said just now? He said the recent he said the recent negative trend is not good. A lot has to change. I'm going to think. Then we will see how things go on from here. So looks a bit
disappointed with himself. Blanket statements. These are all blanket statements. Unless I actually like, you can say as much as you want. Unless I actually see those changes, to me it's all just the same. Because I've heard these things so often now, and it's like, come on now. Like what are you like? I don't want no statements. I want some changes, and that hasn't happened at all. So it is what it is.
Just a quick one. Should we buy like number 9 in January? Bring Ronaldo or someone?
No,
that's the other thing. I don't know if also, regardless of a manager, maybe Bayern is it the team Bayern without 9? Are we gonna struggle? That's the question I have. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, the issue is most clubs won't let a good number 9 leave, and you can get Ronaldo, sure, but if you bring Ronaldo in, it's going to be another issue where he's going to bully Nagelsmann, because we've already we've seen players that with less ego bully him to force a start. So Ronaldo, he'd absolutely would bully him, and then you have the question of who won't get bullied by him, because then suddenly he has to play Ronaldo, and Musiala, he's gonna have to be on the bench, and then he'll demand a transfer. And the same thing for Gnabry and so on and so forth. Like, it's just unfortunately Nagelsmann doesn't have the, how would I phrase it, the ego to say no, to do what he wants to, and that's why I don't think those would be a good decision in the winter, at least. But yeah, I'll probably call it quits here, honestly. I just wanted to bring up this discussion about Nagelsmann today. I don't even feel about talking more in depth about the game specifically, because if I'm being honest, I knew this game would go like this. I knew we'd play horrible because we've been playing horrible for months. And to me, it was just like, I'm watching it because I'm a Bayern fan. I'm not watching it because I like football. So yeah, there are other games that I was watching that I liked watching for actually entertainment value, you know. But as I said before, if I wasn't a Bayern fan, I would never have sat through 90 minutes of that game. Like I would have ended after like the first 5 minutes. I would have probably quit that and turned it off and just put my full attention on the Revier derby that was going on between Dortmund and Schalke. But because I'm a Bayern fan, I have to sit through this, and you know, I have to watch this. So it is what it is.
It is what it is.
But yeah, one substitution quickly that I didn't understand was Mazraoui going off so that Kimmich would be right back, and then bringing Stanisic on to play as a right back. It's like, okay, we're a goal down, and you take off our offensive right back and bring on a defensive right back. Why? Like, we're a goal down.
I think the job was too big for him. Like there was a lot of hype when his Leipzig team would play well, but Bayern isn't Leipzig. Those Bayern players, if something goes wrong, they're gonna ask the coach questions, and then from judging on his answer, they're gonna decide whether he's the real guy or nah, this guy's not it. Like look at with Fleek. Every game under Fleek, we were hungry, we were determined, we would go into the game and play our game. Well, we're not doing that now. It's like Kovac 2.0, it's looking like right now. And Nagelsmann, I think it's written on the wall now. It's over. You can't draw or lose 4 Bundesliga games in a row. It's not acceptable. And I don't know what might happen, but we might be outside the top 4. We might be outside the top 4 now.
I mean, I don't think.
Yeah,
Go on.
I was just gonna add, the league is not like serious. Like if any other league, for example, we went 4 games winless and we're still like 3 points behind. They should be running away with it by now. You know, they can't really. They'll be blaming Bayern now. Look, if Bayern will probably catch up again, so they should probably be 10, 12 points ahead if there was a serious team in the league.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like how often have we seen the story where Leverkusen or Dortmund, you know, they're like first by, you know, a second, very close to Bayern, you know, by the end of December, and then come the second half of the season, suddenly they just lose points against.
Oh, don't get me wrong.
else.
I agree. Like, there's no serious team in the league, but like with the squad we have, we should be clear of anyone right now.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
So the fact that we're 3rd or 4th now, it's not good. Very bad.
I definitely do agree with you on that one. But yeah, with that said, I'm about to head out. Got a few things to do, so I will see all. And the Gladbach versus Leipzig game is on, so I'm gonna make some food and watch that game. Hopefully, watch a fun game.
Yeah, Leipzig actually played good football. So
I know, shocker, right? They got rid of the manager, and suddenly
they go to the Bernabeu and play good. Crazy.
Exactly. Who could have thought? But yeah, anyway, I'll catch all of you in the next one. Thank you everyone that's still watching this. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up as always, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.